everybody. John Anderson here on this beautiful day, which was supposed to rain but never did happen. Oh well. Outside, t-shirt, relaxing, enjoying Rebel Rouser Double IPA by Sam Adams. 8.4% ABV. Gets a very good score on Beer Advocate as well as with the bros. They like it a lot. Ooh. I spill a lot of my beer. As you can see, it's shifting away. Pour it down. 8.4, so this means this beer is going to be pretty much kick-ass, so. Ooh, looks like a damn milkshake. Wow. Very creamy. As you see by my beer here, see a lot of lacing on top there. As you can see, looks decent. Looks a little more cloudy than some of the other IPAs. Well, about the same, about cloudy, like most other IPAs. A very sort of an amber color to it. Put it towards the sun, but as you can see here, the scent. Citrus, you can immediately smell already. It's time for me to get a haircut, man. I look like a fucking mess. Anyhow. You know, you sell to some of the citrus, you can still sense there's some of pine as well in this beer. The double IPA is big brewed, according to their label, with over 5 pounds per barrel of American and Australian hops, and packed with fruity citrus, pine, and resin notes for a bold hop finish. Salute. So, yep, it has that, definitely. So, pine, the citrus feeling sent to it immediately, the grapefruit, the orange, the lemon, typical IPA. So, let us sample. Mm. Wow. Mm. Very malty for an IPA. See that lacing right there, as you can see. Mm. That's not bad, folks. I can see why it gets a good grade. I mean, 8.4, and there's some of the other reviews I've done with IPAs, as you could probably see. I've done. Well, this is a double IPA. Obviously, the potency is pretty high, 8.4%. Most of the IPAs I've had have been pretty much at best been pretty light. The one I did the other day of the Rebel Rider, the blue bottle, 4.2%, I think that was, or maybe 4.3. I could be wrong. That was very light, very not as kick ass as we thought it would be. But most of the IPAs, on average, tend to be between 5 and 7%, except for if it's a double IPA. I see what beer I did a double IPA of. I did Lafrique. I did that one. I did another beer. I'm trying to recall what that was. I did. Fuck. Name escapes me, everybody. So forgive me. Um, I did another double IPA with some other brand. I believe it might have been with a Beta, probably the raw iron IPA, but whatever. Anyhow, it has a very strong, really well balanced, just really, again, very more malts than I would say than hops on this beer here. I look at the website, it says 5 different hops they use for this beer on the Sam Adams website. So this is a good sipping beer, like most of the IPAs are. And of course, this is the right time for it right now, as the weather gets very warm now. Becomes very, you know, getting to right now. We're in the middle of spring now. When this is like we're in mid-April now, so we get into the middle of spring, going into May and the beginning of June. Once the summer gets here, we're really going to be hitting it hard with these are the beers that are going to be quite popular, and I think they're more enjoyable at nighttime than during the day. Still, I mean, a lager will be the beer of choice during the hot summer months. Late at night. Bud to Milwaukee's Best or you know High Life or even a light lager because of the humidity and things like that. But this is or even an ice beer will also be more adjunct lager style. Bud Ice, Budweiser, Milwaukee's Best, you know, Amstel Light, Heineken Light. You know all of them, but IPAs are more for spring. This type of weather, summertime. I do see folks drinking them, but that's more of a sip type of beer than just a beer that you could just throw a few back, like the main ones I just mentioned just now. So this is not bad, folks. This is damn good. Take back the not bad. This is really damn good, and it says a West Coast style. So Sam Adams, of course, the beer company started in 1984. Jim Cook, if you saw my last video, well, all the videos I've done is Sam Adams. It's um, Jim Cook, of course, the brewmaster, of course, of course, at that time they came on during the scene around the time the big micro brew craze that really started about around that time in the mid 80s and went on and exploded into the early 90s and then kind of took a bit of a backseat and then continued again around the early 2000s. And people wanting sort of good, decent, quality beer, a little more flavor, who got tired of the BMCs, the Bud Miller Coors, and whatnot. So another good thing about these guys is that Boston Lager, of course, is their signature beer, their flagship beer. One of the good things is that what I've always enjoyed about Sam Adams is their ingredients and their consistency to detail with all of their beers. None of the beers taste different than the ones you've had before. And also another thing I liked about Sam Adams, I also like about Jim Cook, has been their reach and their distribution. They've reached out to a lot of areas. They've obviously come down to the south, but also they've recently reached out west, where a lot of the other breweries on the same size or similar size of Sam Adams, like Yingling, who've kind of slowly done it sort of the old-fashioned way. They're a mom and pop type business in how they run their things. And I'm not dissing Richard Yingling. I'm not dissing Jim Cook. I think their guys are real good. My only thing, and if they're watching, I'm not trying to dismiss them. I think they're good guys. I've seen a lot of their videos and their business to detail and how they started it in there, which is a very good story. And if you look, and really makes you want to go out there and start a brewery. The bus just went by. Um, what I've always admired about these guys is that they've been very consistent. They're to detail, always been hands on. Um, my only issue with Yingling has always been their reach. There are a lot of people who've had some of their beers who are coming in from other parts of the country who come to, say, come east of the Mississippi River and sample their stuff and say, wow, this is good stuff. But unfortunately, they can't get it out, say, maybe Wyoming, or they can't get it out in, excuse me, they can't get it out of, you know, see Washington State or maybe California or Nevada, you know. And with Sam Adams Boston Beer Company, my only issue been with them is with Jim Cook is that he comes across like he is one of the. There was a book that came out about. I think he was in that. His name was mentioned in that book, Sam's, and how they got started and whatnot. You know, it was a book about craft beer. I could be wrong. Forgive me. And again, it's not a diss, but it's not trying to put down him whatsoever. But my only issue was that they come across as a guy that is, you know, hey, I'm all for, you know, I'm with you guys, the craft beer guys, you know, and blah blah blah. We're American owned, which is great, you know, that both companies are American owned. But really, he's not a craft guy now. If you look at Sam Adams' sales and you look at their distribution, um, forgive me, but they're on the same. They're at the table with the BMCs, in my opinion. The only difference is that yes, Sam Adams, Boston Beer Company is American owned, which is good. More jobs here, but he's at the table wheeling and dealing. So when he comes across that he's this big, you know, maven of craft beer, and hey, I'm with the craft beer guys. You know, I'm part of us, but no, he's not. You know, in the beginning, yes, but now he's on the table with the big boys, and he's a wheeler and dealer, just like the owners of AB InBev or SAB Miller. Now they're merged together. Miller Coors. He's smoking those big cigars with the rest of them. So that's my only knock on them. Overall, both of them, the Yingling folks, family, as well as Boston Beer Company, they put out some really really good beers, which I've enjoyed. And it's just like I said, the things I mentioned earlier. We Yingling. I know they just recently arrived in Mississippi not too long ago, maybe about 3, 4, maybe about 6 months ago. They reached to that area, and I'm sure they're slowly doing it. According to them, they're gonna take their time and expand. And with Sam's, of course, as I mentioned, with the I'm a craft beer. I'm a maven with you with the craft beer. I'm with you. To hell with the BMCs, but you're at the table with the BMCs, my friend. But in any event, still both make good beers. Um, this is a solid IPA, folks, and I'm going to give this thing a. I'm going to give this thing about I'm going to give this about 9.5. This is really good. This is a solid beer. 9.5 score is about really good for me, and you know, I could see this bringing it to a dinner party. Um, can I bring it to a dinner party in my area? Probably not. But will they sample it? They'll probably spit out, "Ooh, it's so sour. It's like a lemon juice." Ooh. I said you gotta enhance your taste. So you gotta give it some time. Just let it work itself out. And of course, pairing this again, rotisserie chicken, chicken salad, uh, anything poultry, turkey, you know, would go good with this beer. So I think this is probably the perfect complement with any IPA, even a double IPA. Um, Even spicy chicken wings will go great with this. So excuse me, and a lot of carbonation in this beer. So yeah, 9.5 score for me on this one. So I've gone a little longer in this video, but tell me what you think. Your comments. If you agree with me, does this deserve a high score? If you don't think so, leave your comments on the bottom. Join us in Pierre, the Beer and TV Ramble, telling you keep beer and TV Ramble. To keep on watching, and as always, cheers.